I'm Vanderbilt. Today I will be telling you about my project on the Liverpool Packet. On June 18, 1812, the U.S. President James Madison declared war on Great Britain. This was the beginning of the War of 1812, or as some people called it, the Battle for Canada. The United States wanted more land to the north, and they didn't like the British always controlling their lives. The battle waged on three fronts: along the border between the United States and Canada, the southern states along the Gulf Coast, and most importantly, along the Atlantic coasts and the Maritimes. Most supplies, merchandise, and reinforcements were transported by sea, so controlling the Atlantic was critical. Both the British and New England and the Americans began to recruit fleets of privateers and privately owned vessels because their navies were too small. This was the golden age of privateering, legalized and civilized piracy. Privateers were common fishermen and merchant seamen that went to the government to get a special document called the Letter of Marque. This letter gave them permission to attack and capture an enemy vessel, bring them back to their home port, and sell the captured goods for profit. They were not allowed to capture an unarmed fishing vessel.
Hi, well, my name is Kathy Stitt, and I am the administrative assistant here at the Queen's County Museum. Privateers were a very good assistance to the war. We have to remember, in 2017, when Canada goes to war, or any country goes to war, they usually have a standing army navy. Back in these times, 200 years ago, they did not. But also, they were an assistance to the British Navy. And actually, the British Navy was not very fond of privateers because they did so well. So it was kind of a give and take
Sort of situation.
Exactly.
The Liverpool Packet started off as a Spanish slave ship. It was captured by HMS Tartarus and sold at auction for 420 British pounds. It was in the war. It captured 150 to 200 ships. The prices of those ships were $262,000 to $1 million. The owner of the packet, Enos Collins, became a very rich man. And then he founded the Halifax Banking Company, which later became the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, CIBC. The Liverpool Packet was a two-masted Baltimore Clipper schooner design. It was the first Nova Scotian privateer ship that was in the War of 1812. Captain Joseph Barse is probably one of the most famous and successful privateers. He was so successful during the war, the Americans made him most wanted. He eventually was captured by the USS Thomas and imprisoned. The Liverpool Packet was a small but fast ship, which made it ideal as a privateer vessel. The Liverpool Packet is credited with 150 to 200 ships captured during the war. Only 50 of these ships were sold at auction. The rest were either recaptured or joined the British privateer fleet. When the war was over, the Packet was sold to a Jamaican man, and nobody knows what happened to her since.